What up, everybody? I am the Transportation Hub, and this is my channel. And today, we are going to talk about the two future bus orders for New York City Transit and the MTA Bus Company, provided to us from both Prevost, which is for both New York City Transit and MTA Bus Company, for the X3-45 commuter coach buses in the new blue and gold scheme with the I Love New York emblems on the side. And this is for New York City Transit only, Novabus for their LFS high efficiency vehicles or high electric vehicles, whatever you want to call it, or better yet, hybrid electric vehicles. That's better. All right. So I will read to you an article that I did on Prevost which was awarded by the MTA to manufacture 300 new commuter coaches. Now, I made this article back on the 3rd of January 2020, which was over 2 months ago. So I will have the link to the article in the pinned comment section down below. Okay? So anyways, let's get on with this podcast. Plattsburgh, New York. Prevost, a leading coach manufacturer in North America, is celebrating a major event. The award of its largest order ever in terms of value with the win of two New York State Metropolitan Transportation Authority contracts. Metropolitan Transportation Authority, also known as the MTA, by the way. MTA has awarded Prevost two contracts for up to 330 buses, with a firm order of 307 buses to be delivered between 2020 and 2022. Now, the 307 buses, right? There's 257 buses for the MTA Bus Company and 50 buses for New York City Transit. Okay? Which will be delivered between 2020 and 2022. And options for 23 additional buses. So that'll just make up the grand total of an overall 330 buses, as I mentioned earlier. These contracts will create 25 new jobs at Prevost in Plattsburgh, plus an additional 15 jobs at the Prevost sub-assembly provider in the state of New York during the build of these contracts. It also allows Prevost to double its production of buses at its American factory. These buses will replace the older MCI commuter coach buses. Now, that last sentence says that these buses will replace the older motor commuter industries commuter coach buses, right? And we all know that the bus span for New York City Transit is 15 years. Because after a certain bus model reaches 15 years, they're off the road. They're sent to scrap. They're sent straight into retirement after 15 years on the road. You already know this. Okay? So between 2020 and 2022, these newer buses, will replace the 2004 to 2007 MCI buses. And they will also replace the 2001 and 2002 MCI buses that are still looming between both the MTA Bus Company and New York City Transit. This is great news for Prevost to obtain these new contracts from the North America's largest transportation network, which will continue to reinforce Prevost's leadership position in North American coach market. We initially opened our assembly in Plattsburgh in 2014 after we received our first commuter bus contract from the MTA. Now remember back in 2011 with Prevost, right? the MTA ordered 90 buses as a pilot order to test out these new buses to see how they work, right? Same thing with the LFSs back in 2011. Same thing with the LFS Arctics back in 2009, 2010. Back with the XD40s back in 2011 and back in 2011, 2012. And same thing with the XD60s back in 2012 and 2013 collectively. And after the 90 bus pilot buses were successful, the MTA started a mass production order of these XD40s, these XD60s, the LFSs, the LFS Arctics, so on and so forth, and everything you know up to this point was said and done. Alright? Okay. After we receive our first commuter bus contract from MTA, we are very proud as these buses for MTA we built just for a few hours drive from New York City. Our presence in the state is very important for Prevost, and our talented employees in Plattsburgh are eager to demonstrate their skills once again to the MTA, added Francois Tremblay, Vice President and General Manager at Prevost. We are sincerely proud and grateful for the continued trust that MTA is putting in the Volvo team by awarding Prevost the largest order ever in the history of the company. We continue to serve our customers with a strong focus on uptime, reliability, and service support. MTA has the largest bus and coach fleet in North America, and we want to make a big difference for the citizens of New York, says Hakan Agneval, president of Volvo Buses. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Volvo buses. I love the RTSs. I love the LFSs that they have over there. And I especially love the Prevost. And by the way, don't get on my neck for this one, people, but I have yet to ride a Prevost bus. Yeah, I rode an MCI bus. Okay. I rode the RTSs, the LFSs, whatever. What the one North American Volvo Group bus that I did not get to ride in is the Prevost. And hopefully I will get the opportunity to do that either in the summertime when I go down to Staten Island, get some little bus action out there, or in the springtime after my term is up. Okay? This is well earned. This well-earned, record-breaking contract for Prevost to build new buses for the MTA is a win-win for the company, for the North Country economy, which will receive a capital shot in the arm from this manufacturing work in the form of 40 good-paying jobs, and for commuters in New York who will soon have access to a smooth ride on 330 brand new top-of-the-line buses. The MTA bus service is a lifetime for countless residents in New York, and I am so glad to see that it recognizes that Prevost's world-class Plattsburgh workforce produces a superior product for commuters in our state, says New York Senator Chuck Schumer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Schumer. Also, if you didn't know, just for y'all, in case y'all didn't know, Chuck Schumer is also the party's minority leader. Okay? In the White House. Okay? There's Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for the Republican side. Since a Republican president is in seat at the White House. And for the Democrat side, there is Senate Minority Leader, because Democrats are the minority and Republicans are the majority. Just so y'all know. Okay? This is exciting news for Prevost and for North Country residents, said Congresswoman Stefanik. I am glad the new contract, the largest one in company history, will provide increased access to transportation for those who utilize it. This will bring significant economic activities to the Plattsburgh area, and I am proud to continue to be an outspoken advocate for present initiatives that will have positive impacts, much like this one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after I read that first article in pertaining to the Prevost, I would like to ask you guys one thing. What do you guys think about the Prevost order with 330 buses in total? 50 for New York City Transit, 275 for MTA Bus Company, and an extra 23 buses in order. I would like to know what you guys think. Please comment below. And while we end this topic right here, we are going to get on another topic. This time it's Novabus. And for this one, guys, I am so glad that the MTA decides to look more, expected more from Novabus besides the LFS diesels, the RTSs, and the LFS Arctics. Okay? I am glad that MTA looked at Novabus on another on another bus type for a different bus order, okay? And you know what, you guys, in the near future, when the MTA decides to go all electric, we shall see if the MTA will look into the all electric LFSs, as in the Novabus LFS E. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Novabus LFS E, lowercase e. And you know what? The MTA should have also looked into the Novabus LFS CNG order, since the MTA is doing their absolute most to make the Bronx a Novabus LFS dominant borough, because as you all know, as all you all because sorry, sore throat. Because as you guys all know, 2/3 of the 2012-2013 XD60s have gone over to Brooklyn and Queens collectively for route articulation of the B38 and the Q12, and the remaining 1/3 of the 2012-2013 XD60s that are left in the Bronx will be heading over to Brooklyn once again. No, not to Grand Avenue. This time to Ulmer Park for B1 bus route articulation, which is set to begin in April of this year. I cannot wait to catch those buses in action. Anyway, and in order to prep up for this event, for the route articulation of the B1, I already caught route articulation of the B38 last year. I have yet to do one for the Q12 and BX35. Maybe sometime later on this month down the line, when I got the time, maybe I could hit up Beyond Flushing along Northern Boulevard to catch some 212 action. Coronavirus or not, I really don't care. I'll wear a mask if I have to. Doesn't really bother me. I don't really care. And I will hit up the BX35, both in Manhattan and the Bronx too as well. Alright. Anyway, guys, with that being said, let's get into this article based on the Novabus low floor series hybrid electric vehicles. And this one is from the Transit Talk Transportation Media Group article based on this. Alright. Originally I was going to do an article about this on my own blog, but you know what? I rather talk about it here than make a blog about this. Okay. Anyways, Novabus kicks off 2020 with the biggest U.S. contract of its history. Okay? The link for this article will also be in the pinned comment section down below. Alright? Leading North American transit bus manufacturer Novabus starts the year with the win of a New York State Metropolitan Transportation Authority, better known as the MTA, or better known as New York City Transit, or as we all know back in the ye old days, the New York City Transit Authority. Okay? The awarded contract for Novabus is for 165 40-foot hybrid buses with bay propulsion system with options of 126 hybrid buses and 209 diesel buses for a potential total amount of 500 buses. Novabus' superior delivery schedule and greater New York State content for the hybrid buses are qualities recognized by the Novabus customers and certainly contributed to the decision of the MTA. The MTA's first pilot buses will be delivered in 2020 and the rest of the deliveries will begin in December 2020 and to be completed in 2021. Oh, by the way, guys, I forgot the Prevost X3-45 pilot bus won't be delivered until this year. Same thing with the Novabus LFS HEV. I just mentioned that just now a second ago. Those two pilot buses won't be delivered until later on this year. All right. After the launch of our new electric buses, the LFS E Plus, and listen, as I mentioned earlier, the MTA in the future, when it decide to go full electric, should look into the LFS E Plus bus order. Last fall, after the launch of our new electric bus LFS E Plus last fall, this is a great way to start the year. This new long-range electric bus integrates the proven traction motor and power electronics from Base Systems, a major economic player in the state of New York. We are more than happy to once again have the confidence of the MTA for its buses. We are proud of our economic contribution to the state of New York, and we believe its addition to our proven reliability and why we met the criteria for this contract, declared Martin LaRose, Vice President and General Manager of Novabus. This wonderful news is a great way to kick off the new year for Novabus and the hard-working employees in Plattsburgh, says Senator Betty Little. Anytime I am in New York City, I always think of the tremendous role our region fulfills for downstate mass transit. The scale of this new order certainly reflects the confidence that NYCT has in the excellent product that is made here in our background by the professional and dedicated men and women working at Novabus. I couldn't be more prouder or happier. The MTA has chosen to trust the North Country by awarding Novabus a contract for up to 500 buses, says Assemblyman Billy Jones, Democrat of Plattsburgh, New York. As Downstate seeks to bring more environmentally friendly transportation options to their residents, they are looking to the North Country to fulfill this need. This is a major victory for our area as our transportation manufacturing cluster seeks innovative solutions to fulfill the needs of the transportation industry, and I am confident that this will bring added prosperity to our region. This is terrific news that gives us a strong start to the new year for Novabus and for our transportation equipment cluster, says Gary Douglas, president of the North Country Chamber of Commerce. All the more so as it comes on the heels of the recent major bus over for Prevost. Novabus has clearly earned a major place in the United States bus marketing since operations just started here 10 years ago, with a record of quality that has earned the support and confidence of key customers such as the MTA. Every official we bring to the plant leaves impressed and supportive, and with Nova's readiness to produce electric buses here in the future as the national market evolves, we can expect long-term partnership. Our thanks and to Novabus, of course, for the MTA to sorry. Our special thanks to Novabus and of course to the MTA, but also to Governor Andrew Cuomo, Senator Betty Little, and Assemblyman Billy Jones for their steadfast support for transit investment in New York and for our region's transportation equipment cluster. Onward and upward. Source: Novabus. So yeah, guys, there you have it. The MTA has awarded the North American Volvo Group 2 contract orders. One for Prevost for the XE-45 commuter coaches, and one to Novabus for the low floor series hybrid electric vehicles. Alright? I have total faith and confidence that the North American Group, Prevost, and Novabus will get the work done. They have my total confidence and my utmost respect. Because I love this city. I love this transit system. I grew up using New York City Transit. Okay? And apart from being a New Yorker, and those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know I'm heavily big on our prestigious team, the New York Yankees, aka the Bronx Highlanders. Okay? And you also know that I'm big and heavy of New York's greatest football team, the New York Giants, of course. And on top of that, I'm a big transit fan. I love my transit. I love my Yankees. I love my Giants. And I love my New York City Transit. I'm a well-rounded New Yorker overall. Okay? Yeah, sure. Yeah, like, sure, I can sit back and do coverage on the Yankees and Giants and whatever you. But I don't want to follow with the crowd. I'd rather just be a follower when it comes to those terms. Because I'm a big fan. I'm a huge supporter of them teams. I'm a diehard fan of both of those organizations. And besides, there's already so many people doing coverage on those two teams. So I'd rather find a new niche, and find what I like, what I know about the best. And it comes to mass transit, I'm your man. I'm your guy. So simple as that. Okay? And yes, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So on the next blog post, right? Well, the next blog post. Well, I do blog posts every Thursday, right? I'm sorry, the next commentary podcast, right? We are going to talk about Andy Byford, right? And I will read over to you a very, very short article written by CBS 2 News, New York, and it shows a video of Andy Byford's first video after his resignation in New York City Transit as New York City Transit president. Why did Andy Byford quit? And how did New York State's politics play a major role in this. So yeah. So yeah. So, anything that you guys want to talk about? If you guys have any comments or concerns, you guys are always welcome to write me in the comment section, and make sure that this blog post, that this podcast blows up too. Like the last podcast I did, it was based on the R262 contract order and talked about how they were slated to run on the 4, 5, and 6 lines per se, okay, and how this will have a major impact on the RTA division, because I forgot to mention this. Okay? The RF-142s and the R142As can run on the 1 and 3 lines. It doesn't matter. Because remember, the R142s and R142As are computerized. They have the programs of every single IRT subway line in existence. It's in the software, it's in the computer. They can easily update the computer software and easily just change the electronic strip maps. It's not an issue. So that's that. The R262s will get the R142 and R142As displaced to the 1 and 3 lines, just like how when the R142s and the R142As came onto property from 1999 all the way up to 2003. Okay, that was at the time the Redbirds were popping. They were running on they were on its last legs, and the R62 and R62As were already in service, and the R142s and R142As ran on the 2 line and on the 4, 5, and 6 line collectively. Okay? So the R262s will run on the 4, 5, and 6 line. Well, they're slated according to the MTA and New York Daily Post and New York Daily News. Okay? Just like how the R142 and R142As ran on the 4, 5, and 6 line from, I would say, at least starting from 2004 all the way till 2018, when the 6 line started receiving the R62As due to 7 train getting CBTC, getting his R142As pulled out off from the line, heading back to the Kawasaki plant house to be converted into R188s for fleshing line CBTC. And no, the 7 line is not getting the 262s. I repeat, the 7 train line is not getting 262s. If you guys read more and pay attention to details, okay, you should already know that the R262s are for the mainline subway cars. Okay? Because remember, back from between 1993 and 2000, 1992 and 2000, 1999 and 2003, the R142 and R142As came on scene. They came on arrival. They arrived on the 2 and 5 lines, retiring all the RT Redbirds from that line, and you got all R142As coming on the 6th line, which retired the Redbirds, but also displaced the R62As at the time to the 7 line. Because remember, after the final Redbird set ran on the 7 line for the last time, the R62As came onto the 7 line from the 6 and 3 lines collectively, and R62s that once ran on the 4 line got displaced to the 3 line. And that's how it goes. So that's that, guys. So anyway, you guys, make sure you guys give a thumbs up to this commentary podcast. Make sure you guys rate, comment, share, and subscribe. Love all of you guys dearly, and I will see all of you guys, all of my wonderful, wonderful, adorable people, all of my beautiful people out there, because you guys are part of the Hub Mafia. Love all of you guys dearly, and I will see you all at the next stop.